I don't have an intro for this because I don't even know what the name of this podcast is. We were going to call it like Everything Real Estate, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's a little rough.
It's a little generalized and there's a million of them. So what's up, Joey? What's going on, man?
How you doing, man?
Oh, hold on.
There you go. Okay. Now we know.
What's going on, Joey?
Not much. Just happy to be out here in Riverside for the day. You suckered me out here with golf, and somehow I'm sitting in this room with you.
Literally, you just give people free golf. They almost do anything.
Yeah, it's free today?
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
I'll be here every week if that's the case. We could talk about whatever you want.
Yeah, I'll listen, you drove 90 minutes from San Diego. I at least can give you free golf.
Yeah, I mean, that works with me.
I mean, Side's paying for it, or someone.
Thank you, Guy. We appreciate it.
Guy, you're worth $2.2 billion. Appreciate you, buddy. You can play a little bit of golf. So what's going on, man?
Not much. Just found time in the busy summer that we have right now in this market to come up here. Really excited to sit here and talk with you.
Well,
it just
the legend that you are, 30 under 30 agent. Like, you know, every time I turn around, you're putting new escrows on that board you got going on. So why don't you tell everyone who you are?
So my name is Joey Bergandi, realtor from San Diego. I've been in the industry about 5 years, and it's definitely everything's been paying off from the groundwork that we laid from year 1, year 2, and year 3. That just, I don't know, my one of my managers calls it meteoric. She's like, you just like broke through the ozone and you just keep going. And working on a company called Velocity, we just launched a couple months ago, where we're building a foundation for getting all these agents that are around my age, whether you're 21 to 30 or 35, and kind of build this digital forward platform where you are always touching your referrals, always touching your clients, and building a successful real estate business so that you can help others. You could actually help people get into homes the efficient way and not just be that 5 to 10 deal agent a year that thinks they're crushing it.
Yeah, we're going to clip that, Adrian, so you can give that as a promo video right there.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So that's awesome, man. So what made you create Velocity? Obviously, you've been doing this in the game for a while. Like, what made you, like, I started my company 18 months in, way too early. Never make that mistake, people. I did it way too soon, and I made a lot of mistakes. But I kind of knew, like, one day it was going to happen. So I was like, just do it now, right? So, like, what made you finally make the jump into starting your own thing?
So when I got to the point that I realized that my business could essentially go on autopilot, I know my phone rings from clients. I'm very grateful. It's a good feeling to know that I have a very supportive clientele that's going to keep calling me. And I started realizing how I want things done in real estate, not how other people want things done. Mm-hmm. So everything that I focus on is transparency and making sure that everyone, whether you're sitting at the table with me on a negotiation or I'm calling you after, you know exactly what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. It's, I think as a good tangent, my least favorite word in real estate is value.
Oh, yeah.
If an agent's ever like, oh, I bring a lot of value, he doesn't bring any value.
It's funny. I met with some guy this morning at 6:30 who wants to be an agent, and we were talking. He's like, I just, on Instagram, I just see everyone that's like top producers, and I see them get their license. All of a sudden, they're a major top producer, and I'm like, they're not.
They're not.
What people don't realize is like 95% of agents do nothing, and the top 5 do all the business. But like when you're just taking snapshots, you know what I mean? Like the biggest thing, if you follow anyone in real estate and you never see them post just listed, just sold, or an escrow, they don't do any deals. Because I always laugh. I'm like, okay, they post photos all day long, but they don't post their just listed, just solds. Like that's not. And so that's the hard part about our industry is that like everyone's like always, it's so much fluff. That like the consumer just doesn't know. They don't like oh, I bring tons of value, but then like you never get the value.
Exactly.
It's like a Ponzi scheme. You know what I mean?
So like I had an agent that I was talking to join Velocity, and his number one thing to me was I bring a lot of value to my buyers. And I was like, describe it to me. And his answer was, well, I negotiate well. I write good contracts. And I'm like, that's what everyone does though.
Yeah.
So what's your actual value? And he's like, well, I'm hardworking and I'm willing to sacrifice. I'm like, what's your actual value? So if someone ever said, oh, this is my value add, they just don't know what they actually do.
Yeah, because it's just like keywords, right?
Yes, exactly.
I always love when Current Market, I think it's the website or whatever, like makes one post about whatever, and then every agent I see that just shares it and shares it. And they have no idea what it actually means, but they just share it anyways because Current Market posts it.
So like I share that stuff too, but then I do a video after explaining it.
Yeah.
And it's something where like my thing is if someone asks me my value add, it's that transparency. If I get something, I will explain it to you. If we're working on a deal, I will explain everything to you. I'll even drive to your house and sit there and go through it with you.
You're a better man than me.
Well, it's because I've got the best fiance at home where she's working, I'm asleep. Yeah. I'm asleep, she's working.
Listen, Crash and Abigail, you just met them. They're needy. I can't leave them alone too long because they'll go crazy. They bark too much. Crash will eat the table. Like,
I think that's a new requirement. If you're looking to get a realtor, they got to have a corgi.
100%. Literally, why do you think they're on all my marketing pieces, dude?
Well, because they're needy.
They're needy as can be.
If you have a realtor that has a corgi, you know they can take care of multiple things at once. Too.
And they can clean up hair like nobody's business.
Oh, dude. Just mop with
Anytime
them.
people go like, oh, I want to get a corgi, I'm like, be prepared for hair on top of hair on top of hair. Like, it's going to be in your food. It's going to be on all your clothes. It's going to go into niches that you didn't even know existed.
Turn the AC in the car on.
Yeah, the AC. Yeah, exactly. I have dog hair through my whole car. So right now, currently, you just actually opened your own physical office, didn't you?
Yes.
How's that process going for you?
Pretty good. So with COVID, it was kind of this delayed process. I was going to have my own little space at my past brokerage, but it was able to really focus in and spend a lot of time at home, to the sense where I was able to get all my processes down. I've got systems for everything, and getting into this office every day, it's like, okay, like right now I've got 8 in escrow. I'm waiting on number 9 this morning. And on my whiteboard in my systems, everything kind of gets logged and then pushed through automatically. So I was able to spend this last year really focusing on making sure everything is done. And it's like these auto emails and drips, and then scheduled calls or texts with agents that just makes handling 8 or 9 escrows at one time not a big deal.
Yeah, I think that's funny. Like, people, like, goes back to what we were saying before the podcast, like, people think I'm so busy, right, because of the image, but like, in the transactions are not what I do busy. Like, when agents go like, I'm so busy, I'm like, you have 2 escrows, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, and then it's like, oh, I don't have time to make content. It's like, what do you do all day? You know what I mean?
That's a tough thing, because you have to make time.
Yeah.
So like this, drive an hour and a half.
100%.
But it's stuff that's actually good. It's stuff that the consumer, Mr. or Mrs. listening to this, that you're going to get some good nuggets from making a decision in the real estate market.
Yeah.
The agent that says, oh, I'm so busy, they're just trying to scramble to find their next one.
Yeah, they're just, and that's the thing, like, they don't have a process to like, and it's sometimes hard, like, you know, when, like, right now things are great for me, but there has been times where I have 0 escrows, you know, or 1 escrow, and I'm like, man, like, is this content thing the right game? Like, is it really making sense? And then all of a sudden it works. Like, it's so, like, you have to kind of find, if you're a new agent out there, you have to kind of find like what you want to do every single day.
Yep.
And like, it will work. It's just like you go in valleys, you know, up and down, up and down.
And like you've talked about with me on the phone, like, I'm described, as in your words, as a steroid agent.
Yeah.
I'm going to be everywhere. I'm going to market everything. Yeah. I'm going to do digital. I'm going to do physical. I'm going to handwrite stuff. I'm going to call you. I'm going to show up. Like, I'm that steroid guy.
Yeah.
So even as the steroid guy I've got 10 different marketing avenues, I'm still going to be in a valley sometimes.
Yeah.
But when everything's hitting, I mean, it's
madness.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I think the difference is like everyone has ups and downs. The difference is like our downs are as low as everyone else, but our ups are higher than everyone else.
Exactly.
Like, down is 0, right?
Yes.
So like, that's what people don't realize. Like, our downs are 0, and if you do 5 deals a year, your down is 0. The difference is when all of our things are working and everything's flowing, ours are 10, 15, yours is 2.
Yeah.
And so you're like this, we're like, you know, so we ride the roller coaster more, which the roller coaster, the down sometimes is not bad. Sometimes I'm like, I want a down where I'm like, God, can I get a break for a second?
Can we go to Mexico for a bit? Like,
I know, it's funny. My assistant's going out of town next week, and like literally like a week ago, or like Monday, she was like, man, I really, like, kinds of things are a little slower now. I haven't really opened too many escrows. And then like yesterday I talked to her, she's like, oh my God, I'm opening 8 escrows today, and blah, blah. I'm like, you're just saying you have nothing. She's like, of course, I'm leaving for vacation on Saturday. Of course it's going to happen. If you're an agent, you do no deals, go on vacation.
Oh, dude, my buyer's agent just went to Mexico.
Yeah.
And we're getting an escrow this morning, and then in 2 weeks my assistant's going to Guatemala for 2 weeks, and it's like, Amanda, when you leave for those 2 weeks, I'm gonna suffer.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need you here.
You need an assistant, man. Like, when I finally pulled the trigger, I was so scared hiring an assistant full time. I don't know how you felt, because it's like, oh my God, like, can I afford that every single month? Like, when did you feel like, what year did you feel like you finally like year 1 for me was like fun in survival mode. Like, I was so young, I didn't know. I was like, oh, I'm making way more money than every day. Then year 2 was like, okay, I kind of have this figured out. And then I was an idiot and opened my own company. So then I like hit a wall really hard. Yeah, went to dead stop. And then like, I feel like last year and this year I'm finally like back to flowing. What was like the transition of your career?
So year 1 and year 2, it was showing property every single day.
I know, yeah.
And I mean, I still show property. I take pride in it because it's fun. That's where referrals come from. That's where relationships come from.
My thing is like, now it's not like, I think the difference between now is like, I just don't show a million properties.
Exactly.
Like you narrow it down more, and then your clientele is a little bit more narrowed down. And like even right now, like there's no inventory. So it's like at the worst, you're showing 2 houses.
Yep.
Before you're showing 12.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, so my rule is 4. If we're scheduling showings, we are not going out to more than 4 properties. Also, if I have shown you 8 total properties, if we've gone out for 2 days and not writing an offer, we're going into my office. I'm going to do another market presentation or evaluation with you to try and see where you're at. Because obviously I'm missing something or it's something you're not telling me. So we need to get to the bottom of it. And then if we get to 12 showings, we haven't found anything, I let you go.
Yeah. You know, it's terrible. I do not. When I get new buyer leads, I tell them I'm not sending them houses.
Really?
I don't send my clients any houses.
So I don't send houses until they've sent me 3.
No, like I just tell them, I go, here's the thing. And they always wonder why. They're like, why do you do that? I go, listen, you say one thing, but you are looking in totally different areas that you haven't told me about. Yep. You will find something that I'm not looking for. I've done this so many times. The number of times a client's actually bought something that they told me they were looking for when we first started is slim to none.
Never.
And 2, another reason why buyers, what people don't get about working with buyers is that there are a lot of time because you're driving around.
Yes.
And I try to remind all my clients, this is a team effort. We're doing this together. I will put 100% in, but you have to put 100% in. And so if you're not sending me houses, you're not that willing to want to do it.
Exactly.
Right? And so I have just learned over the years is that you are going to have Zillow. You're going to have Zillow and you're going to have everything else sent to you so quickly that I'm never going to be able to keep up with you. And you're going to send me what you want to see. And I tell everyone, just the moment you see it, screenshot it, put it in the group text, tell us when you want to see it, and my assistant will show it up. Yep. You know, that's the thing that people don't like. And I've had agents like, oh my God, you don't send people properties? I'm like, why? So you send them tons of, you put them on okay. So secret about the industry, anyone who's a seller or buyer looking at this, no agent's actually sending you properties. They go on the MLS and they set up a little whatever, and then they send them to you. And the reason I don't like doing that is because if you're looking for something exactly what you're looking for, the odds of me dialing that in is very unlikely. So you're going to get everything in a zip code sent to you.
Yep.
Half of it's going to be crap, and none of it. And then it's just like your phone's blowing up with me sending you listings that there's not what you're looking for,
and it just pushes them away.
So it makes me look like I'm not even listening to you. Yeah, so that's why I don't send houses.
I get my clients to send me 3 houses. What I do is off those 3, I try and find 1 or 2 that are similar. Then I send it back and say, is this something that matches it? If they say yes, good. I take my mental note, and then every other day, me and my team will be like, all right, who's looking for property right now? Let's find one thing that matches and send it over. Because if you send someone 15 homes and none of them work, they'll be like, wow, this schmuck's not doing anything for me.
That's the thing. People like, and it's dicey because what people don't get is like, people are emotional. And the moment they don't think that you're like paying attention, they'll find someone else.
Exactly.
And it sucks. Like this market's hard with buyers because like you might go weeks with nothing comes on the market that you're looking for. And then like, it's just like there's nothing coming on the market.
Yeah, I've got this sweet FHA client. We're looking for oceanside condos that's like $375, and there's one every other week.
Yeah.
And then there's people that come in, they're like, oh, here's my 30% down, no contingencies. And thankfully my buyers, they're still like, let's go forward and do it. But it's just in that field, and I'm sure up here it's the same way. You just have some niches where it's like, we're going to be looking for a couple months. The good thing is the market's going to hopefully improve with more inventory, but prices are going to continue to rise because of everything else going on in the nation. So stay with it. Don't think that we're not helping you or being lazy, because in reality, we're just waiting for that perfect opportunity.
Here's my thing. We only get paid when we close deals. So do you think I want to drive you around for 6 months and write tons of offers and get none accepted? No. In the perfect world, I show you one, write the offer, open escrow, close, get paid, move on to the next person.
Exactly.
It's like, I always love that when I'm like, I only get paid when this closes. You think you're like, I understand buyers get frustrated and I get frustrated. And it's like, you also have a job. Like, I'm losing money every time I show you a house, you know? And so it's like even listings, when people go like, I want top dollar for your house. Me too, so I get paid more.
Me too.
Yeah.
But the best part is I want top dollar because then I can go to your neighbors.
That's what I tell everyone.
Hey neighbors, we got top dollar. Do you want to do this?
Exactly.
And it's this cycle. Like, I have this Chula Vista condo. We were on the market 5 days. Granted, everything has slowed down according to some people. 5 days, 10 offers right away. We accepted one, no contingencies, and I've gotten 2 calls from the neighbors like, hey, when you close, when you can tell me all the terms, let me know, and then we'll talk.
Yeah.
And it's like, we don't have to wait.
I know.
We can go right now.
Exactly. I have 10 offers waiting in hand right now.
We can get someone for you. And that's the thing, though, when you're looking at agents, that agent that does the 2 to 5 a year will never capitalize on that.
Well, I think they also don't have enough experience on what's going on in the market. Like currently right now, the problem is what people don't, I think the big issue nowadays is like everything's clickbaity, right? So articles are very clickbaity. You can't say like, you can't write an article right now saying that things are just cooling off a little bit. It is the market's crashing or the market's skyrocketing. There's never like a middle ground, right?
No, we're CNN versus Fox right now.
Exactly. And so what people don't get is like those people who write those articles get paid based on how many people look at the article.
Yes.
So they have to write doomsday because they know that's going to get them the most clicks, get the most views. Like even like our social media videos, I know what videos would get me way more views. I just don't make them because they don't make any sense. Like I could literally say the market's crashing or this is happening or that, and like freak people out, but that's not reality. Like currently right now, I'll tell everyone, Riverside market, over 650. If you're an average house over 650, it's a little bit slower. If you're under 550, it's still super crazy.
Yep.
That's what it is. And certain neighborhoods are slower than other neighborhoods. And you don't know that unless you're putting multiple houses on in the market. You're showing multiple buyers because it's like, I put a house in this market, only 7 showings. Yeah, did we get an offer over asking? Yeah. But normally that would have been 20 showings because the house I sold a month ago in that neighborhood, I had 25 showings in a weekend and we sold it with 10 offers. And then it's like, I wrote an offer in this town, in this part of Riverside, and I got crushed by 20 offers. Like, so you just have to know the experience. Like, you're never gonna, if you're talking to someone who isn't in the market every day, they just won't know it.
Well, in San Diego, what I love is we're a huge military town. So when you're looking at any of the bases that we have, a lot of agents assume, oh, around that base, it's going to be the busiest. Nope, 15 minutes around those bases are busiest. So I have a listing coming next month. It's a 3-2, super nice, Oceanside. We'll probably list it around 625. That's a perfect 15 minutes from Pendleton.
Yeah.
We've already posted it on base. We already have offers, and we haven't done anything. We have people calling saying, oh, I'll buy it right now, but the market up there is crazy. So no, we're going to go to the market. We're going to get this done. And I have another one coming in a different town called Spring Valley. Spring Valley, same thing. It's a condo. It's a great entry level, and we are going to be listing it, I think, early September. Same thing. We already have cash offers when actually right now, if someone tells you it's a cash offer, it's fake. Yeah. It's fake. There's no more real cash offers. And it's these 2 zip codes that are about 15 minutes from each base that everyone wants because of location.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I've got one out in Descanso right now. Beautiful home. I mean, it's gorgeous.
No show.
3 offers.
Yeah.
We were still above asking price, but there's only 3.
Yeah. But here's my thing. You only need like 2 or 3.
You need 2.
Yeah. You really, actually, you don't even need that. You need 1, and you need them to think you have more than 1. Honestly, that's all. Like I got 40 above asking because they thought we had multiple offers and we didn't. You know, I think that and it's funny sellers think that they determine what their house sell for. No, buyers do. If all of a sudden all the buyers are in the market right now could say, we're done. We're not buying any houses. Prices are too high. We're done. And everyone stopped looking at houses. Houses would come down.
Exactly.
Buyers determine what the house sells for, not us. So when sellers go, I need $725. Cool. If a buyer wants to pay that, great. If not, then what are you going to do?
Exactly. And I love when people say, oh, the appraiser decides. No, the appraiser is making his educated decision based off of everything else that is sold, which those are buyers writing those offers.
Yeah.
I hate when people are like, oh, asking price is what they need to walk away.
Yeah.
No, asking price is just the hook to get you in the front
starting
door.
Price.
Yeah. And I love when people are like, oh, that's a little too high for me. What makes it too high for you? I feel it's too high.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then we're just not going to see it because someone else is going to feel that it's just right.
Someone's going to pay for it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And so obviously you've had a great career. You're under 30. You were 30 under 30 in nationwide, right?
No, for San Diego we're going for nationwide this year.
Oh, yeah?
I'm only 26. I've got 4 years to do it.
Yeah. I got in a little too late, man. I tried to get it, and I was 29 when I first got in, and I was like, man, if I had only a few more years. So for you, like, why do you think? Well, like, obviously we've been doing this for a little bit, for 5-6 years, and we kind of know it's kind of interesting. Every agent kind of like everyone who's successful kind of has the same thing. What is it about you that you think has been able to help you so well in this industry?
I think it's just the fact that I'll do anything.
Yeah.
It sounds stupid, but I take every phone call, I take every text, and then I walk you through the whole process. So, I mean, I have a guy right now that I'm not helping list his house. He has a buddy of his, but I'm coaching his buddy on how to list his house. And I think that just, for me at least, traveled.
Yeah.
I'm a referral-based agent, and I have a pretty loyal base that's like, yeah, Joey will just tell you everything. He will walk you through everything. I mean, it's sad, but I could go through every single disclosure and tell you what it means. Just because if I get a phone call at 10 o'clock at night, I'm going to take it and I'm going to explain it to you. And I think that whole process of actually walking through people, everything, and not just saying, oh yeah, my TC will send it, please sign it, has been able to build this base for me. And it's led to a bunch of knowledge. I could have pretty meaningful conversations with real estate based off of just like the documents. As a realtor, our number one thing is paperwork.
Yeah.
But what we do is all of us get a transaction coordinator and push it off.
Yeah.
So it's this lack of strength that I've seen in the industry over the last 5 years that agents really don't know paperwork.
I don't think agents ever take the time. Like I think a lot of agents fail in the beginning and then they're out of the industry is because they never took the time to actually learn the industry, which then they don't know what they're talking about, which then if someone asks them a question, they can't answer it. And then people lose think that they're nobody. It's like I was at a Tom Ferry event 2 years ago before COVID, and I was laughing because there's all these new agents here. And I go, you know what? The one thing that they're not going to tell you to do that will make you more money than anything else. And they were like, what? And I go, learn what you're actually learn what you're talking about. The knowledge of actually knowing what you're talking about, it will do you more benefits than it won't. I said, you can have a million marketing schemes to get leads, but if you don't know what you're talking about, they're not going to work with you.
Oh, and I've got a client right now who is way smarter than I am. He's an intellectual. And every conversation we have, I have to be the devil's advocate.
100%.
Because he knows the paperwork.
I know.
He knows
That's
the process.
Worst.
Oh, I love it because for me, he's telling me what I would say, but I say, hey, just in case the seller doesn't do that, this, and this will happen. And he gives me a hard time. He's like, Joey, you're always so negative. And I'm like, because you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know so much that you're talking about that you only think it's going to be positive. You think because you have all this knowledge, you're going to win that. So my job, instead of hand-holding you, is to like bring you back down to earth and say, what do we do? What if? What if?
And that's the thing that people don't get is that the experience of going through so many transactions and seeing so many things that go wrong, that you just have the experience that it's like, okay, all right, if this happens, we do this. If that happens, that's the thing that people get. Yes, listen, when you do a deal in real estate and nothing goes wrong, anyone can sell that house, anyone can buy the house. Agree.
Yes.
But the problem is that when you go into the transaction, you don't know if it's going to be perfect or not.
Not at all.
And then the problem is, when you probably get these calls when people are like, I'm in escrow and this is happening. Sorry, can't help you.
Yeah.
Well, why not? Legally, I'm not your agent, so you need to call your agent. Well, they don't know what they're not picking up the phone. I'm sorry, but I can't help you.
No.
And you know what I mean? And it's too late. And what people don't get is that like you're already pot committed, so you're not going to fire that person.
No, not at all.
You can't. Like, you're stuck with them. It's like crappy lenders. And all of a sudden you get to the end of lending and they're like, oh, we're charging you blank more money. Well, what is that? Well, you've already waived all your contingencies, so you have to close and pay the money or you lose your money. Pick one.
Yep.
You know, it's crazy how many people put their clients in bad positions where they're going to lose EMDs.
Oh, dude. Or even
so
like
many.
When lenders are like, yeah, hey, this CD will change.
Yeah.
That's the final CD. What do you mean it will change? And then all of a sudden your lender cost goes from 1% to 1.5%.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there like,
and you're already pot committed. You got to close it.
Exactly. You have to.
So what kind of made you, obviously you said you explain, you'll take any phone call, you do anything. I think that's kind of helped me. Like, I literally have mowed lawns.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, I've gone into houses and like moved stuff to get houses ready for clients. Like, I kind of have that same mental where I'm like, just get out of my way. Like, I'd rather take care of all myself. Get out of my way. Just let me do my thing. I'm gonna sell this house. Like, you can leave the state. Yeah. Like, I love clients like, I'm like, you can leave now.
Or like, we're gonna go on the weekend in Hawaii. I'm like, great. I'm gonna prep your house for photos. Thank you.
Get out of here. So obviously you've kind of grown over the years, and you're kind of making that shift now from like working for a brokerage to now having your own kind of brokerage. So like, how has that transition been, and what are kind of the faults that you've felt since that are harder than you thought it was going to be?
So the first fault that I have is that I've got 24 hours in a day. I wish I had 36 hours in a day, why I'm building my team out right now. The first fault is I thought that I had time to get everything done, and I don't. And that's the one issue that's like, I can't do anything about. So now I got to get people in. I'm training them the best that I can, as fast as I can, so that they can get out there, so that I can get back to building my brand. Now, what I keep telling people about Velocity is, you see my last name's not on it, and same with yours.
Yeah.
So I'm not building me. I'm building this thing. So if you want to help building this thing, you will be rewarded graciously. But I need that. The second little flaw that I've run into right away is, again, time.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that I consistently am running my head into, because I mean, I'm up every day at about 6:30 and I turn everything off at 9. Like, I need some time to rest, but I just wish time would slow down a bit, because once you get through your marketing, you have branding, you have content planning. Oh, and then by the way, you have buyers leads, seller leads, your actual escrows, your people out shopping, and then your own team, your support staff. We've got meetings almost every single day. I work with 4 different lenders. I love my escrow, my title. We've got a dedicated staff, but running into every day, okay, well, I didn't get this done. I didn't get this done. Okay, that needs to be done tomorrow. This needs to be shifted over to that person, and kind of work through that. That's the roughest thing.
Yeah, I think the hard part that people don't get too is like when you're trying to build with real estate, with agents, I don't know why this is, but like they're all about like egos, and and they're like me, I have to have my name on everything, and I don't want to grow velocity, or I don't want to build resilient because that's not mine, and this and the other. And it's just like the odds of you being around in 5 years are slim to none, to be honest.
Yeah, it's like 85% are out after 3 years.
Yeah, and so it's like they're so worried. You know, I always love when new agents always want to talk about commission splits. Oh, I want this. Dude, you don't realize you're not going to make any money.
No.
Right? And you're going to take so much time from me where I have to get money out of you. And so like, it's interesting when you're like, dude, like, and this is something we've talked about before, struggling finding agents to come work for our companies. It's like, you're 26, you've crushed it for 6 years. How do people not go like, I want to work with that guy? Same with me. It's like, I've always done well. Like it was like, I had a great career, opened my own company, have always done well. I feel like I do things that no one else does. No one wants to work because I don't know if they're intimidated and they're worried about like competing or being in our shadow or whatever, but it's just like, my name's nowhere.
Yeah.
My name is nowhere.
And I go through that with agents where I've had agents challenge me and they're like, so what's your secret? And I'm like, you work hard, you do a lot. And they're like, so do you just like walk into business? Did you just like wake up and it was handed to you? Like,
yeah, you have a rich family base.
No.
Yeah,
it's like, no, there's stuff that actually has to happen. And I mean, I have 3 agents I'm going after right now, and for me, they're all under 30. Mm-hmm. I don't want anyone over 30. I've talked about that with Side, who is our big umbrella company. Mm-hmm. It's like, I think what my system and my way is going is get the people under 30 and train them how I did it, so that when we're all 35 and they're all crushing it, it has that loyalty as well. Another thing is when you look at agents, in my opinion, over the age of 35, there is going to be a learning curve for the social media. Social media is not hard. I mean, you look at my account, I'm pretty much spammy and in your face. Yeah. I'm posting a whiteboard every day, erasing and writing a new escrow on it. Yeah. It's a pretty loud...
basic thing, yeah.
But it works.
Yeah, 100%.
And then other things, just like today, we're going to go golfing. Yeah. I'm going to post buyer consultation. Yeah. It works. I actually have a client right now that we're opening escrow. Hopefully next week we have an offer on it, counters out. Yeah. That I took him golfing the first time. Yeah. That was it. Just little things.
I think what's crazy is it's not this like deep thought thing.
No.
That makes you successful. It's like just literally it's showing up every day and like literally showing up every day. And trying to get better every single day. Like every day I've tried to get better on whatever I'm doing to produce what I'm producing. Like we have a new interactive whiteboard coming today. As much as I didn't want to pay $4,000 for a whiteboard, and a lot of people think it's stupid, but it's like I'm now increasing my content, which that's how my business comes in. It's like this podcast room. I want to get new mics. Do we need new mics? Probably not, but like
I'll take them. I'll take these.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll donate them over to you.
Oh, I'll take the donation graciously.
But like the thing is this like you have to show up every day, and what most people can't do is they're not. What's the word I'm looking for? They're not just like determined, or they're not responsible enough to literally force themselves to show up every day without getting a paycheck. That's the hardest. Show up every day and no guaranteed money. And then show up tomorrow.
And then build crazy goals.
Yeah.
Like my business manager has told me I am not hitting my goals. They are so out there and they're so ridiculous. But for me, if I don't have anything insane, it's like, I could probably skate my way there.
Yeah.
But no, the goal that I have is going to be way more production than I'm on pace for. I mean, I'm trying to do 40 million myself right now. I'm at the end of this month, I'm going to be at 21, 22. I'll probably get to 35, hopefully. But it's such a stretch that if I don't show up every day and I don't take every call and I don't like going into the office, huge game changer.
Oh, I'm here every day.
Oh, yeah, I know you are. You made me walk here. I mean,
of course. Get your steps in, bro.
Dude, I'm like, oh, man. We're 2 blocks away. That's a San Diego mile. Let's drive.
And just walk this thing. And that's the thing, too. It's like I've never met a young agent under the age of 35 that's successful that doesn't come to the office every day.
Yeah.
Older agents, yes, you can work at home. Great, because you have like a huge database of people that you know and they're in the age, whatever. But I've never met a young agent do well who doesn't come to the office every single day.
Yeah.
Because you got to be in the atmosphere, man. Like, you have to be in the game. Like, I just think it's so fun. But it goes back to this. This is the reason why they're real estate agents. They're not successful in life. Most people are unsuccessful in life and they go, I'm going to get into real estate. But then nothing you've done in life before this, you've been successful at. So then why do you think you're going to be successful at this?
Which is another level of my recruiting. Maybe it's because I played baseball at USD, played baseball my entire life. I love athletes.
Yeah, because you have determined.
Oh, yeah. So like my buyer's agent right now, Kelly, she's a rock star. She's going to probably be at my level in 5 to 10 years. I mean, she's going to do great. Played college softball.
Oh, perfect.
Both her parents were in law enforcement.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend, soon-to-be fiance, Cody, I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
Is a firefighter. They all have jobs where you have to show up every day. So with her, she's brand new. What does she do? Come to the office every day. She sits across from me at my desk. She listens to all my phone calls. We go through all text, emails. I screen right here. She sees everything. And it's the same thing. Without going into the office, it would be the same hope and pray. Hope this Instagram post gets me a buyer to show this weekend.
Yeah, I think the one tip I'd give to any new agent, like the guy I met today at 6:30, like I told him, like he was talking about like what brokerage to work for, and I told him, I said, go somewhere that you want to go there every single day.
Yeah.
And I don't care if you have nothing to do. You have to go in there every single day. Get in before 9, leave at 5, and treat it just like a job, 9 to 5. If you show up every single day, 9 to 5, and just sit there and just listen to people talk and interact and how do they handle clients. And when they go show a house, say, hey, can I go show a house with you?
Yep.
Hey, can I just like come and shadow you? And how do I open a Supra? How do I do this? And like, that's how I got started. Like, I sat in the office and I was like, oh, you're going to go show a house? Can I go with you?
Yep.
Yeah, sure. You can come with me. Oh, wait, can I like open the Supra and like, you know, and you can talk to the client. I'll open the door and I'll turn all the lights on. And can I do it? Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Like Monday, I had an hour and a half free. So what we did, I took my assistant, took my agent, and said, all right, here, I just booked these 3 showings. You're going to drive and you're going to show me these properties.
Yeah.
If they weren't in the office, I probably would be like, all right, well, I'm going to get back to my stuff.
Yeah.
But since they're there, they weren't doing anything. I was like, okay, you know what? Let's actually grow them. Because then that helps the core at the end of the day, but get them to do something because they're in there every day.
Yeah. I mean, it's just mind blowing to me that it's like, if I could find a me, I would go work for them in a second. I mean, seriously, if I could go find someone who does what I do, I would go get and like, I'd give them 50% and I would go work for them and I would be their right hand dude for 5 years.
So my brand new agents, we're giving away some secrets here. It's a tiered commission split based off of your career closings. So yeah, at first I'm going to start you at a 50-50, but I'm literally going to do everything with you.
Yeah.
And it's that hand holding where I'm looking for people that are like, you're crushing it. Can you actually show me step by step what you're doing? And it's to the point that we have it set up where I project where the actual career sales is to the point where you actually understand things, to the point where once you get through the training that we have set up, you're going to be at a very high split and know what to do, not only transactionally, but how to get referrals, how to maintain your sphere and make it grow.
Yeah.
The thing about real estate is a lot of people think that they just do one thing and then business appears.
Yeah.
It's a snowball. But to start, you're pushing that son of a buck up a hill. And one morning you're just going to wake up and you'll hit the downhill. So you got to do everything right. So you're pushing that same snowball up the hill. You're not trying to do multiple things at once. You're getting one thing focused to the point where you wake up and you're like, oh crap, I just got 2 referrals. Let's work. I have my systems in place. I can get this done. Oh, and I can get all my offers written and still do what I want with my day. It's getting to that point.
Yeah, I think the hard thing too that like I struggle with as like I've had teams before, and like the hard part is like I don't really know what it is that makes me work, right? Like I'm not very systematical. I don't have a schedule. I don't really have those things. And I'm the person that's like, I know, like I personally will show up and do what I got to get done. Where some person who's not like me that needs hand holding, like I'm like, okay, go do that. And they'll be like, how do I do it? Be like, what do you mean you don't know how to do that? And so like, or like making content. I don't know why I get a lot of organic leads from social media. I don't know if it's like my personality. I don't know if it's how I make videos. I really don't know. And so it's like, I can't tell someone, okay, when you shoot a video, you want us to do this, and then you want to do that, and you want to do this. And so that's what something I've always struggled with when bringing new agents on. It's like, if you don't kind of have it, like I've always said, I can't really take someone from 0 to 10 deals, but I could definitely take someone from 10 to 20 or 20 to 40. I could easily do that. But 0 to 10, that's not my forte of agents.
So I love the 0 to 10.
I know, that's why we're so different.
Love that, because I am very structured. Yeah. My day is built on 15-minute schedules.
Nothing.
Like I have everything laid out that I need to do in my Google Calendar, and then I also have it handwritten on a pad. No. So bringing in agents, I'm like, this is what you need to do every day.
Yeah.
And if they can follow it, great. That's going to get you 0 to 5. And then we go into the next step, which is more organic.
Like I don't even have a CRM.
Really?
No.
Oh, dude.
Or like I don't do any of that stuff.
Shaking.
But what's funny is this is a great example. Like that's what's so great about this job is that like I do not do that and I'm successful. You do what you do and you're successful. And like there's no right way to do this game.
Yep.
You have to figure out what you can do every single day that you can do. Like I can come here every single day and shoot content.
Yep.
I can do podcasts. I can do those kind of things. And like it works.
Yeah.
I wish I was more structured. I really do. I've tried so many times and it just doesn't work.
Yeah. No, so I have an agent that I'm interviewing right now, which I have a pretty good chance he'll join the team. That our number one point with him is you need to find what your niche is.
That's all it is.
You can't come here. Yes, you can do what I do, but you won't be as successful the same way, because if you're at the same company doing the same thing, you need to find your niche. So it's another thing with young agents is you got to find what actually drives them. So I've got one right now that their biggest thing is looking into flipping and investing. So what am I doing is I'm partnering with 2 different flippers in my area. I'm going to say, hey, we're going to send you these properties, but on these properties, when you do it, you need this agent to help and shadow and learn.
Yeah.
Because for me, do I flip properties? No.
Yeah.
Do I have any desire? No.
Not really. I think it would be fun, like one, but I don't know.
But like I'm so structure oriented. Love contractors, they're great. But a contractor is going to be 30 minutes late and I'm going to be like, okay, I just burned 45 minutes. What am I doing?
Yeah.
It's a hard thing for me to overcome. So on that flipping side, like I have an agent who's a good friend of mine that crushes it in these flips. He represents the buyer, he'll represent the seller, he'll do the flip himself. He has it down to a science. Would I want to trade places with him? No, I wouldn't know where to start. Would he want to trade places with me? No, he wouldn't know where to start. And like same thing, this whole content thing. Me, I try and push as much as I can, but it's not to your level.
Yeah.
But your level works for you, and for some reason, my level works for me. So why do anything different?
I agree, and I think like, you know, and everyone having like a different game. Like I've told Side a lot. Like Side has wanted me to build the team, and I tell him no, I don't want to build a team. I've done it. I don't like it. It doesn't fit me. Because like I said, I'm terrible at taking 0 to 10. Like I don't have the ability to take 0 to 10. Because like I don't want to walk you through how to actually do a transaction. I want to create your brand, which if you're trying to figure out, if you're a new agent, like you have to learn the game first before you can work about brand. Everyone worries about brand first. Like everyone's like, oh my God, I have to have a brand. I have to have a brand. Literally learn first. And then you create your brand. And your brand kind of creates as you go.
Or like when people are brand new, they're like, I'm going to work at a Keller Williams or Coa Banker because I have that name.
And no one cares.
That name doesn't mean anything.
Nothing.
I mean, you could be Agent A and you could open Agent A's brokerage and use your friend's broker's license. Doesn't matter.
No
it's who you are and how you do things is what actually grows it. So like with you and I working with Side, having our own brands, we know that with us, we're going to continue to go. So for the brand, we can assume that's going to go.
Yeah.
But it's not, oh, we're going to make this brand go so we can go.
Yeah.
We know that we are the motor for the brand.
Listen, I've been at 3 different brokerages and I've always been successful.
Yep.
It has nothing to do with the broker you work for. Has literally, I've had teams, I've had people come, I've had people leave, and I love how many times, man, oh, this is what's going to bring him down. And I'm like, nope, never does.
No.
That person left. Oh, that's when he's going to go down. No, it's not. I've literally made it through all this stuff. Oh, COVID. Nope, made it through COVID.
Exactly.
I'm waiting for a market downturn too, so that I can get through that.
Market downturn is going to be fun.
It's going to be insane, dude.
Gonna be fun.
I'm excited. If it, I don't think we'll ever know 8 again because I just think there's too many things in place for that to happen. But it, you know, what people don't get, like at the meeting I had today, I'm like, dude, being a new agent right now is so hard. And
It's
he's
so
like,
tough.
he's like, why? I'm like, because you mostly work with buyers, and buyers are really, really hard right now, dude. It's really tough for buyers right now. It's so hard and it's emotionally draining because you're telling people so much bad news. I don't think people realize it is emotionally draining to be a real estate agent. You're only telling people you tell people bad news so much. And what people don't get is, like, even right now, even on, say you have a listing, I have listings where we get 10 grand above asking and they're literally like, that's it. And you're like, what are you talking about? That's it. Like, you're going to be the highest comp sold in this neighborhood in the last 20, probably ever, honestly, now ever. You're the highest house that's ever sold in this neighborhood. We only got 10 grand above asking. Yeah. Oh, we wanted more than that. Oh, well, we'll wait. I have someone right now, we're 10 grand above asking, and they're like, we wanted more, so we're going to wait.
And that's the thing about this market that I don't like about the seller side. It's this expectation that people are going to overperform because it's theirs. Now, I mean, I've listed homes this year where they've been flawless.
Oh, for sure.
Sold over asking. I've listed homes that have been trash that we've sold over asking. But it's that expectation of, oh, this is what I read on the internet. I expect that my home is going to go nuclear just because it's supposed to.
For sure.
When it could not.
Yeah.
But you're still going to go over asking. You're still going to net what you need to do to get to that next property or next investment, move out of state, whatever it is. But it's hard putting that dollar amount there because, I mean, you and I can talk about it. Do you know what an appraisal is going to come in at right now?
I have no idea.
No clue.
Yeah.
Nobody does. If some agent goes, yeah, I think this home
I just
will
had one
sell
come in
for
170 below.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. And I have one in this market that we were 50 grand above asking and we walked into 25K of equity.
Yeah.
When I thought I nailed it on the head.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is coming in at 650. Came in at 675. I called my buyers and I was like, well, good thing we removed the appraisal contingency because we're walking into some money, baby. Let's rock.
Yeah. And like super excited. And so that's the thing that people also don't get is that, you know, and this is a question I have for you. It's so funny. And this has kind of been a rant I've been going on for like the last year now is like, as agents, especially most agents, they only post about themselves, how great they are. And then they post about the market, which is interesting because me and you, the number one agent in every market, but people don't get this, are agents that do less than 5 deals a year. If you look at any stat, the number one group of agents are people that do less than 5 deals a year. So no one cares about how good they are.
Nobody.
And then 2, we're in the highest seller market of all time and no one's selling. That's why we're in the highest market. So we post all the time about the market and how great we are, and no one makes decisions on how great we are and the market. So why do we post those things?
Well, so I post my stuff just to get stuff out there.
Of course.
And I mean, I'll post my wins, I post my losses, but better yet, I post my food, I post my dog, I post my fiance, because if no one's making decisions off the market,
No one does.
no one's making decisions off of what you can sell or not.
Like how great your house is.
Well, screw it.
Yeah.
Make a decision off who I am as
100%.
a person.
Then that's the mistake that people make in the content. So literally the number one mistake every agent I talk to is that you don't post enough personal and you post way too much business, or you post no business and only personal.
Yeah.
That is the number one flaw people do. They don't post both. That's the mistake they make.
And then I'll mix it. Like I posted my corgi yesterday or 2 days ago, and it was a picture of him and he was side-eyeing me. I put Q2, Q3 projections, went great, hoping to have more pets and ocean visits. That thing banged on Instagram. I got so many comments from it. I had people messaging me. I actually got a buyer lead from it. Because it's me as a person. So like another thing, pet peeve is when an agent goes, yeah, I have a personal and I have a business page.
Never. Have
Why?
one.
You are burning so much effort and you're going to separate your audiences. And then both of those audiences, once you commingle them, they're going to be very confused.
Or this. I don't do Instagram, so I don't post on there. Sweet. Good job.
Good job. Well, your business in the next 5 years is going to go south.
Yeah. Well, my thing is you have to make education decisions. Like I'm not on TikTok, right? Because that's not who I am. And I suck at making reels. Like I've tried, I just am not a creative dude. Like I need creative people. I'm not creative at all. Like I'm knowledgeable. I'll do content, but like to throw a song on a video and add text and do all this, like I'm I'm like a child. Like it's like trying to draw inside the lines when you're 4. Like I'm not, and it's gonna look terrible. And so like, I wish I was better at those things.
Yeah, same here.
I would totally do them, but I'm not that guy. I'm not dancing on camera. I'm not like, you know what I mean? Like I just don't want to do that.
But like you stick to your 2. Like I stick to Facebook and Instagram. I'm slowly getting into LinkedIn.
LinkedIn's fire for me.
That's my 3.
Yeah.
Well, I've noticed like some agents have fire LinkedIns.
Yeah.
For me, I'm starting to post. I've already got a couple leads that I don't know if they'll turn into anything. But you stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
So when you have a social media, not only are you going business, you're going personal, you're staying in your lane. And if an agent ever says, oh, I want to build my brand where they're working at, no. You can build your brand online.
Yeah.
That's great, but we're going to help build a business over here.
The problem is that's the other thing too, that people don't, it's like, cool, you build your brand, but if you don't have the systems in place, like even though I don't have follow-up or anything like that, but like I also have an awesome assistant, and we have a messed up system that works for us. And have I lost deals over the year? Oh, probably. Like Absolutely. I'm the worst follow-up person in the world. I'm the worst. I don't follow up with anyone. I'm terrible with that stuff. But like, it's the way I want to do business.
Yeah.
And I have come to terms, like, I don't know if I want to do, 65 deals a year. Like I kind of want to just do 40. You know what I mean?
That's good for you. I want to get to the point where I am doing that 65, 70 deals a year, but I have my support staff to help me get there.
I think, I just want to do 40. I want to make my money, and I want to coach, and I want to do podcasts, and I want to grow my YouTube channel, and I want to get ad revenue from other places. My main goal ever is how do you make money when houses don't sell? That's my number one goal. All I care about every single day is I want to make money when how do I make money every single day when houses don't sell? Because if all of a sudden houses don't sell, how am I giving in revenue? Yeah,
that's a good point, and it's something that we've looked at on my team as well. Now, it's not the market's going to crash.
No, that's the market's not crashing, no one.
But in 10, 15 years, what if the process completely changes? Mm-hmm. What if we go and we become like the southern states where when you buy a house, you sit down at the table with an attorney and an agent, it's $1,000 flat fee, and these agents are doing 60, 70 a year, but that's it. Mm-hmm. So are you going to want to stay doing that? No, what else are you going to do to build your brand or your business? Like for me, we're looking in investment properties, Airbnb specifically. That for me, houses won't sell, maybe hotel prices, who knows? That's that avenue. Okay, well, what if that doesn't work? Yeah. I can't call my fiance, or she'll be my wife at the time, and be like, hey.
Hopefully, if not, then we might.
If not, I'm moving in with you.
Literally, if not, I don't think it'll be with her anymore.
We're going to have the 3 corgis out here at Riverside.
Just going hound.
But it's that thing, like, I don't want to lean on her and be like, hey, take all that overtime.
Yeah.
But it's that smart thing that you have with that YouTube. You're going to grow that. For me, I'm trying to build this business knowing that I'm going to try and impact the lives of other agents so that when something happens, we're all prepared for it.
Yeah.
But who knows if that will ever happen.
I'm interesting too. Like, I feel like us are like kind of ahead of the game because like there's so many agents. Like we said, recruiting is very difficult.
Very difficult.
Recruiting is probably recruiting is hands down the hardest thing to do at anything in this. Seller leads, buyer leads, closing deals. Those are recruiting good agents is the number one hardest thing I've ever done. And like, it's so interesting because it's like these people work for brokerages and you're just like, but you don't get anything.
No.
But then they stay there forever.
Yep.
And they just complain about it. I guess those are the people that stay married when they should get divorced.
I had an agent that I was talking to ask if they got any merchandise when they joined the team. Because I mean, I have my Velocity Nike polos. And I was like, that's your question?
Yeah.
You want to know?
You want a hat?
I got a hat for you. I can give you a hat. But what value does that? That doesn't bring anything to the table.
I always love this one. Can I have, I want an office.
No.
Why? You don't need one. I don't even have an office.
Yeah.
Literally, I have there's not one office in this place that we use.
No, like I've got shared desks in my office. We got a pretty decent sized space for San Diego. I've got 3 desks. Like, yeah, if you want a space, cool. Those desks aren't claimed.
Yeah, take one.
Oh, better yet, if you just want to sit in my office, pull up a chair, let's do that. I could give you your own monitor. We can sit there and do it. But that's the tough thing with good agents. When an agent breaks that 5 million mark, it's like this invincible mindset that comes in. But the agents that break the 10 million mark, they're like, what do I have to do to get to that 20? So it's that weird 5 to 10.
That 5 to 10 market is so brutal because it's like they're making enough money. So everyone, just so you know, at $5 million, you're probably walking around with like 100 G's a year.
Yep.
Roughly, before taxes. So like they're like, oh my God, I'm making money, right?
I'm making money,
club. Right? And like right now it's like 500,000 or 5 million. You're probably doing 10 deals, right? You did 10. Try 40.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they think like, oh, well, I did 10. 10 to 20, yeah, it's a big. 20 to 30, that's a jump. And 30 to 40, that's a bigger jump. And then 40 to 50, it gets...
But once you break that 20 mark, you'll never go below it.
No, you never do.
Never do.
It's so weird, right? Like,
oh, dude,
it's like, it just happens.
My first 3 years, I was 19 deals, 17 deals, 16 deals. Or no, 16, 17, 19. And then on year 4, I went 32. And now this year, I'm on track for 45. Like, it just went...
Yeah.
Which is incredible.
See, I've never done under 20, man. Sorry. I went hot my first year.
I was 21 years old.
I agree. And I think that's something that was a flaw for the both of us, is I laugh because I know I lose deals because of my age.
Yeah.
I'm 33. I know I lose deals because someone will compare me to someone who's 55 and has been in the industry for 20 years, but does 5 deals a year. And I've done more transactions that they've done in 5 years than they've done in their whole career.
And that's an argument that I have.
Yeah.
Like if someone goes, well, you look young.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool, well, test me intellectually.
Yeah, exactly.
Here. Oh, by the way, here's my record.
Yeah.
Like, but I can't be like, oh, you know what? I'll work with you and I'm going to
bring
go home.
value.
Yeah, I bring value. But you know what? I'm going to go home and add 5 years to my life and I'm going to come back.
Yeah.
No, that's just not
Well, and the
feasible.
thing is, too, is like what agents don't get is like after you build up like a credibility, like numbers, like now I can say numbers. That's the thing that like you cannot take away from me.
No.
Like I've sold over $100 million in real estate.
Yep.
So when I sit down, I go, I've sold over $100 million in real estate. Like who can say that? Not
much.
There's a handful of people.
Not me yet. I'm at 65 million.
There's a handful of people that can say it, but like, yeah, I've sold 100 million. I've done and been involved in over 250 transactions.
Yep.
Like you can't, like I've seen it all, you know, for the most part. So I think that's the thing too, is like what agents don't understand is like you leverage whoever you work for to then say that's you.
Yeah. Well, like another thing is I don't think I was this comfortable until I broke 40 million in total sales.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Well, because
I was sling man right from the get.
There's some stuff that just happens crazy in transactions that I needed a couple go arounds to fully understand. But for me, it's like I could do it once and I'm confident in it, but I don't want to just be confident. I want to be like, this is my Bible. Like I know that I am ironclad. Nothing's getting through this. And that was my 40 million mark for me. Like you, I'm sure you sold your first $500,000 home and you're like, I'm invincible.
Yeah. Well, it's like I still haven't sold $1 million yet. That's still on my bucket list. 995, double-ended, but it doesn't count.
Well, yeah. So I've done a couple over $1 million. And honestly, those were my easiest transactions.
They're the easiest ones.
Because you have sellers that have sold multiple homes, buyers that have bought multiple homes. So it's not these over complex negotiations because people don't know what they're asking for is unrealistic or a seller has expectations that can't be met. You have like-minded people that have done the journey together going, all right, well, I just want that home. This is what I want to offer. Can that work? And the sellers on that point are like,
and $1,000 is not a big deal.
No, $1,000
for the most part. $1,000 is not a big deal to them. So when a termite bill comes in that's 2 G's, everyone's freaking out. But like if it's a $400,000 or $300,000 house and it's $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 repairs come in, everyone's freaking out. I think in this market, every market's different. But like $1 million in this market is very it's high, right?
Well, for you guys, that's very high.
It's very high. So the hard part is I've talked to a lot of agents in Riverside. They're like, oh, I want to get into the luxury market. And what people don't understand, dude, give me the 400. Not 400 is really low now. Give me the 500 that closes in one day.
Yeah, and
turn and burn.
Oh, that's what we talked about when I was coming into Side. Everyone has a target market. I love my East County and San Diego. Shout out La Mesa and Santee specifically. Now we have multiple Side partners in San Diego. Love you all. Not talking on you guys, but they all are in these $1 million, $900,000 neighborhoods, and I'm over here at my $650,000 average price point. But they're going to do one deal at that $1 million because that's the inventory right there you need the buyer for, and I'll do my 3 or 4 at the $650 in the same month.
Yeah. Let me turn and burn. And what people don't get is like now you're just building up more and more people that know you.
But the other thing that we'll work on is like for me, I have that follow up. I know the nurture. So my goal is to help people under the age of 30 buy because I know they're going to buy this. They're going to sell that, buy again, and then they're going to sell and buy again, and they're going to sell and buy again. My average client, I'm trying to get 7 transactions over them over the next 25 years.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. When you build up your database, like literally all you have to do is like write them notes every 6 months.
Yep.
You know? and that's just how it works. So
I follow them on Instagram.
Follow them on Instagram.
They see you every day.
Exactly.
Which my handle is Joey Bergandi.
Oh, we'll put it in the link. So anyways, we've been about an hour now. So what's something you could leave on? You know, a lot of our people who watch our podcast now are real estate people, and a lot of them are new realtors. So it's something that you think that, you know, obviously the number one goal is always like, how do I get my next deal? Especially new agents, you know, what advice would you give someone, or what thing would you say, hey, go do this today, and someone can get a deal in the next 30, 60 days?
I would find an agent that is doing what you want to do. And I would call them and say, hey, you don't have to pay me. I just want to shadow you for 30 days. In my opinion, in that 30 days, you will learn. If that person is really doing what you want, you will learn what to do. But yeah, it might take 30, 60 days to then actually get a lead and nurture it yourself. But the best thing you can do is get to the hip of somebody. If you have the pride and you're like, hey, you know what? I don't want to do that. Literally do what no one else is doing. Find something that you feel like people aren't doing. So I have an agent of mine that I train who's out in Phoenix. And the FSBO market in Phoenix is untouched right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So what do we do with him every day? We call through the FSBOs and say, hey, can we list your home for free? If we negotiate 5% or more than the asking price, then we just want a $2,000 flat fee. No one else is doing that. He's got 2 listings this month off of it.
Yeah, and that's the thing that people don't get to with new agents. It's like I've lost some deals that I should have taken back in the day. It's like, you're brand new. Just make money. Yeah. Like honestly, you know, it's funny. New agents, you don't deserve 5%. You don't deserve 2.5% or 3% on listing. You don't have no idea what you're talking about. You haven't earned that money.
Go do something to learn it.
Exactly. And you won't. Honestly, this biggest game is you only learn by experience.
Exactly.
You can read 1,000,000 books, but until you're in it, and that's why I don't think we're ever replaceable. But like Zillow and Side's, and I've argued with Side all the time. Side's a big tech company, right? They're nerds. They're tech nerds. Yeah. They've never had to be in a room with someone and deal with the things we deal with. We're irreplaceable.
But it's great for them because all the tech that they bring, I need.
Yeah.
I need everything they produce to get me to my efficiency. But if we were to flip roles, we would be up in flames in a minute. Unless, Guy, if you want to come sell a house, I'll talk to you in Napa and we could flip roles, but...
I'm waiting for a guy to come to the podcast room. So.
If Guy's here, I'm going to be sitting right there.
Yeah.
I'm going to be dropping questions in.
So I appreciate your time, man.
I appreciate it as well.
Until next time, guys. Peace.